In order to get the maximum efficiency out of your air conditioner, it's important that your air conditioner's line set be properly insulated. Unfortunately, in most homes, they're not. For example, here, this is way under insulated. With me today is John Wright, an energy consultant. And John, how do you determine the right amount of insulation for an air conditioner line set?
Well, the code calls for, in the residential Title 24 requires R3. So you first need to know R3, the R value you're trying to get. The second component is you need to find out what the K factor is of the insulation itself. That's another way of saying thermal conductivity. And you simply have the R value times the thermal conductivity or the K factor, and that equates to the thickness. In this case, this particular product complies with R3. This has a conductivity or thermal conductivity of 0.25. The residential code requires an R3, so it's 3 times 0.25. That equals 0.75, 3/4 inch wall. This complies.
So what I'm hearing you say is you might actually have two materials of the same thickness but different R values.
That's correct, and you need to check with the manufacturer's specification sheet.
Okay. What about UV? Because when these are run outside, you can see here that this is pretty deteriorated.
Right. This has been going on for years, and finally, and I appreciate what the CEC is trying to do. So what they're now requiring is protection, and in most cases, what folks have to do with their products is paint when it's exposed to UV. They need to paint the product that's exposed to UV. Not all cases. Some cases, for example, this product here doesn't require it, but in most cases, you need to paint it.
Okay. What about installation? You would think with the larger size of the line set, it may be difficult to install them in the walls.
Well, I don't think that's the case. With good common construction practice, what you see here is just the way it should be. You got plate straps at the fire blocks, and then in particular, what's important at the top is the top plate. You use 2, but other than that, just care should be taken in order not to kink it. But the folks that are already doing this are not having a problem at all.
Now, if you don't have R3 insulation, you have to make up for that in the wall, right?
Right. Some of the manufacturers, if they miss the mark on hitting the R3 using the K factor and the R value, they do need to insulate. And this is kind of an ongoing review process at the CEC. We're trying to work with them in order to make sure that we could do something where perhaps this wouldn't be required. But for now, if you don't hit the R value, you'd actually have to come in here with some insulation and make sure it's in between the exterior wall, in this case, and the product itself. And that would hold true for the line set running through the attic. You'd have to do the same thing. Somehow encapsulate it in order to boost up that R value.
John, great information.
Thank you.
If you'd like to learn more about how to make air conditioners more efficient, check out the other videos on the CEC website.